Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Dev's Kingdom. In this video, we're going to cover the OpenAI Codex CLI, and it turns to be a very popular AI coding agent at the moment. So let's go over how to set this up and some of the findings that we found during the testing. So that being said, let's get started. Basically, if you want to look at the documentation, you can go to OpenAI Codex to find out the documentation, how to install it. So you can do it via the npm, and also if you're on Mac, then you can do a brew install. So very simple. And when you want to use it, just do a codex. It should spin up the CLI. And so the configuration is actually under the .codex config.tlml. And let's go over that configuration a little bit, so to see what needs to be set up. And then we're going to test this CLI on Kaggle, and also we're going to spin up a coder.com instance on Kaggle as well. So we're going to try Ollama, Groq, and OpenRouter just for testing purpose to see which one works and which one is usable. So under the context, basically, I think Codex got popular because of the GPT-5 support. But in this video, we're not going to cover GPT-5. We're going to just use the regular open source models to test the latest release of the Codex CLI. So, and that being said, let's get started. So let's go to the Kaggle notebooks. So first, we did a setup on the Llama. So if you do not know how to set up Ollama, check out the link in the description. So it will help you to set up the Ollama on Kaggle. So basically, we're gonna use 2 GPUs. So once we test it, you'll see GPUs are all spin up. So these are actually leveraging both GPUs on Kaggle. Then the other thing set up is the coder server. So it's coder.com, and then basically this is gonna be a web version of the Visual Studio. So let's go to the IDE. So basically you can see that this is the IDE we spin up. So one thing to note is that, so in the past, all the videos are actually using the Groq, and also the local kernel. But this one we actually changed a little bit. You can see that we're actually using Gradle. So there's pretty cool project that you can actually check out. So basically it's a Gradle kernel. So it's gonna actually be able to give you pretty high quality kernel, and just on kaggle.com. So let's view that in a little bit, but first let's try out the codex. So if you just open this Kaggle working folder, which is going to map to the Kaggle instance, then you'll be able to kind of look at all the files underneath it. And so in this case, we're going to download the project, which is Gradle.turtling. So this is the project. So it is basically a small project, but it's very cool. So so let's go back to the notebook. You can see here, basically it's going to the internal IDE, which is the coder instance, to the port 8080. So very similar to Groq, and also similar to local kernel, but it's just very easy, and it's not, there's no limit for it. So not like the free version of Groq, or a little bit slow if you use a local kernel, but Gradle kernel is very cool, and it's pretty fast too. So let's go to the Visual Studio. So basically to run the codex, you can see we have to first go to a folder that you want to run this codex CLI. So for example, we go to this Kaggle working and go to this Gradle turtling project folder. And so let's open another terminal so we can show this a little bit later. Let's go to a different terminal. Let's open up. So if you want to try out, just go to this terminal and then cd to Gradle turtling. And you can see basically all the files of this project are listed here. So you can do Codex. So this will actually set up the default working space for this Codex CLI. So then go to Codex, hit enter. So be able to see that actually we're using the DeepSeek Chat 3.1 and free on OpenRouter. The first thing to check is the slash, go to the approvals, make sure that the Codex can access everything in this folder. So just go to approval, hit enter, so give it full access, and that should be it. Then let's talk a little bit about this configuration. So it's under the codex and config.tlml. So first you need to pick model. So basically this test we're using DeepSeek Chat 3.1, and the model provider should be OpenAI compatible. Also we're going to use chat. This is probably the same for all the models. And then you have to also specify a base URL. So in this case, we're going to use the OpenRouter. So just use the default OpenRouter URL. Then you have to also specify environment key. So if you use Ollama, you do not need the environment key. But if you use OpenAI, Groq, OpenRouter, Claude, so on and so forth, you probably do need the environment key. So this is how we actually pass in this key to the Codex. So you do need to export the key. So basically you go to the terminal and do export and pasting the key. So that should be it. Then make sure you have all these other wire API extra chat setup, but this should be in the default configuration, and that should be it. So you should be able to ready to go and go to the testing. So let's go to the previous testing we made. But if you want to try out, maybe you can just try out different small models first to see how it responds, because sometimes if you put a very large model, it is very slow. So one thing to note is that Codex is very model related. So if you use a small model, the performance is very not expected. But if you use a large model, it can be very slow. So use a cloud instance, maybe better, like OpenRouter, Groq, and also maybe OpenAI instance. So that should help with the testing. So let's go back to the testing we made, and let's go to this testing. So because it's a little bit slow, it takes about 2 minutes. So in this video, we're not going to run that again, but let's go over what it did. So first we just try to ask the Codex CLI to see, basically explain me the code base. So it ran about 2 minutes. So you can see that the output is okay. So it's actually good, except there's some other output that is not needed. But overall, the output, the information is good. So if you look at the output, it's basically gradle tunneling code base overview. There's a core component that went through the entire code base. There's key functionalities, right? So explain everything. Basically, they explain the tool is designed to make it easy to expose non-Gradle web services through the Gradle's tunneling infrastructure. So it's a very cool project. Feel free to check that out. Then you can see that it's also showed how it came to the result. It actually said I explored this current folder, read the README, and also listed all these files under the Gradle tunneling. So yeah, that's basically how this performed, how it worked. So if you try a different small model, it probably will not give you this type of accurate response. For example, if you try Ollama, and you can use the let's say for Q1 2.5 14b or 7b. So this will not give you this probable response, and it will basically, it's like you ask one thing and it will give you a one sentence answer. So for example, let's change a little bit and try a different terminal, and to see how that actually works, let's exit, to Ctrl+C to exit, and let's change it. Let's say, for example, let's change that to Q1 14b, just for demo purpose. And also we're gonna try this base URL to use the Kaggle URL that we actually spin up on the instance. So you can see 1A2. There's 1A2 here. So basically this is running. And we actually use a lot of models in here, but we choose the Q1 2.5 14B. So, and then let's basically change all this configuration, and we do not need this environment key anymore. So let's comment that out because we're actually testing with Ollama, and let's try that again. So you do not need to do extra things. So once you save the file, the Codex will read it. So that is pretty good. And that should be it. So let's try the Codex again. Let's clear out the terminal. Let's try the Codex again. Okay, there's a small issue. Okay, that's to comment out the OpenRouter model, and this is the one that we downloaded in Llama. So let's do a Codex. So you can see here, basically the model is Q1 2.5 14B, and the directory it is working on is basically the same directory we tested using DeepSeek 3.1. So, and also we still need to set up the approval to give the permissions. So, and we give the full access. So let's ask the same question. Explain me the code base. So you can see how different it performs with the more powerful model. So let's explain me the code base. Let's hit enter. And also, if you use the reasoning model, it's going to be even slower. So this is a non-reasoning model, so it tends to be faster. So let's go to Kaggle to see the performance of the GPUs. So let's go to the GPU. You can see that, okay, the GPU is actually stopped working because the execution is finished. So, okay, there's a bit delay probably. Let's go back to the instance. So you can see that basically what it's trying to do is have a plan, gather project structure information, and then it says run. They're actually trying to make a directory. Did they make a directory? Oh, they did make a directory. Okay. So basically ask it to only go over the files, but they actually try to create a directory. So it's trying to do something. So basically trying to create a HTML to summarize it. Interesting. But you can see here, basically the response is quite different than a bigger model. So let's just stop it for now. You can test it once you set this up on your own local instance. So let's just cancel that, hit ESC, then you'll be able to stop the conversation. So let's maybe try Groq. So let's try Groq. For example, we can try the GPT OSS. So the open source model of the GPT. You can try the Groq, and then let's go to change the model as well. Change the model to the GPT OSS 120B. And the provider is the same, OpenAI chat completions. Base URL, I'm gonna change to Groq. Okay. In environment variable, make sure that you have this Groq API key set up in the terminal. And that should be it. So let's cancel that and re-enter. Just do a codex. So you can see, basically we're using the OpenAI GPT-OSS model now, and it is actually a Groq model. So let's go to the approvals. Let's make sure it has full access. Then do the same thing, run the same client, explain me the code base. Oh, okay. I think we do need to actually export that key again. Let's maybe try a different terminal. Let's try this terminal. So that terminal probably do not have the Groq key. So let's go to this terminal and then let's do a codex. Okay, let's go to approvals. Okay, let's give full access and then do the same command. Okay, you can see that now it is working because in this specific terminal, we do have that key set. So, okay, let's just wait a little bit to see how the GPT-OSS responds. Okay, you can see that there's an issue with these Groq models because sometimes you can see a request too large. So this is one reason why I think OpenRouter works better in this case because it takes a larger context window, but for Groq, sometimes it has this context issue. So, but anyway, there's also a rate limit issue as well. So I think the ideal way to test it is just Ollama and OpenRouter. Groq sometimes do have this problem. Anyway, so this is how you test out the Codex CLI on Kaggle.com, and it's 100% free. You can try out to see which model and which configuration works best for you. So last but not the least, let's go to some of the documentation. You can also follow to try to get the most of this Codex CLI. So the first documentation is this docs under docs folder is configuration. So basically config.md. So this is basically show you how to set up the configuration. So all the configuration are listed in here. So you can go through all the configuration to see what it does, like the MCP server configurations. So to basically have a better understanding how to configure different things. So which is a very helpful documentation. And also if you scroll down a little bit, you can see there's different samples and profiles you can set up. And here at the top, basically it shows you different versions, like the general version, and there's different like Ollama versions, also Mistral versions, Azure versions, so on and so forth. Very helpful documentation. So this will definitely help with the setup for the project. And also, there's another documentation which is under docs advanced. So you can see that it also explained how to configure the model context protocol. So under here, it's very similar to other IDEs or other agent, but it's very clean as well. So you can put everything in one file. And so yeah, so that should be it. So last but not the least, you can also check out this Codex resume. So basically this will be able to help you if you have a previous session and you want to resume from the previous session. So, but that should be it. So hopefully this is helpful. And if you do like this video, please subscribe, like, or comment if you have any questions. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and see you in the next one.